Welcome to Since Rookie Season,
Well, the summer before.
a Heated Rivalry fan companion podcast where your hosts, Amanda, Lau, and Lauren, break down the episodes from the Crave Canada television series, the Game Changers novels, and various media surrounding this fan phenomenon.
Today we bring you something different. A backstage look at how a Heated Rivalry rave is made with two very special guests. Stay tuned!
Okay, hi y'all. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed our episode on romance novels last week. Thank you again to Bree and Katie for being guests on that. You guys were awesome. This week, we're kind of shifting gears. Also, it is the penultimate episode of this season.
What?
Right? We only have one more. I know, that's so sad. We only have one more. We are going to talk about a little Heated Rivalry rave, a little agenda, a little thing that 3 out of the 4 of us have done. Sorry, Lau, but Lau can definitely still give all the opinions on this, and I'm sure you've seen it on all of the socials, people going to Heated Rivalry raves. But we are going to talk to a friend of the pod, if we would, Jordan, who I met at Haus in Chicago, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into that. But before we do that, very quickly, I would just like to say, welcome to Pride.
Happy Pride!
Happy Pride, gays.
Happy Pride.
Gay.
Feliz orgullo, queridos.
That's in Spanish, I think. Or whatever.
Yeah, that was in Spanish.
All the languages that you know, Lau. Do you want to say it in Spanish and French and Haitian Creole?
So I don't know how they say it in Haiti, actually. But I can say it in French. Bon fête de l'orgueil, profitez bien.
Beautiful.
Hell yeah.
Happy Pride. So happy for you. So happy, or so proud of you.
We're
Look at all
proud.
being gays. I'm going to now throw it over to one of my favorite gays, Jordan, who is our guest for this episode. Take it away, Jordan.
Who's
Are
gay?
you gay?
Okay, well, so I'm Jordan, pronouns she, her. I know there was some confusion because I travel a lot, but I'm based out of Chicago. I met Lauren at the first house party. Kind of going into, should I just go into like why or how I got into Heated Rivalry?
Yeah.
I don't really have anything interesting about me. Okay, so I kind of got, funny enough, I have a funny story about Heated Rivalry. I actually, back in college, shout out to my teammate Abby, she actually tried to persuade me to read the books. And this was back in like 2020, maybe 2021.
Okay, T.
And because she was reading the straight like hockey books. And I know. And I was like, yeah, I'm not going to read those. She goes, oh my God, there's gay ones. And I was like, oh, tell me more. And then she told me they were about men. And I'm like, oh, I'm okay. I'm actually really good. I'm okay. And then a couple of years later, I started hearing about people were talking about the show. My best friend sent me a tweet, and I think it was either about the casting or like one of the first teasers. And I remember verbatim, I've tried to find the text and I can't find it. But I remember verbatim being, I'm so sad. I don't know what's going on, but I'm so sad. And I watched the first 2 episodes, like when they first came out that weekend of Thanksgiving. It was Thanksgiving, I think, or like right before Thanksgiving. And I got into it then, and I've kind of just like fallen in love with it since. I've only read 2 of the books. I'm a Shane and Ilya truther, so I've only read their books.
You know what?
But you know what? I have this conversation with people. I just fear that even though I do love the show, the books are a little much for my little lesbian self. It's a lot. Sometimes it gets a little I love Rachel, but sometimes it's a little too graphic for me. So that's why I like the show. Kind of going.
And the show's not graphic at all. No.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. But I think that's kind of why, for me, I kind of see it as like so addictive, I guess. Because I know for me personally, the reason why I'm kind of like quote unquote addicted to it, one, I can't be like casual about anything that I like. It becomes like my
Welcome to the club.
Exactly. I can't be casual about anything I like. When it comes to Heated Rivalry particularly, I think for me personally, I know everyone has like their own reasonings for why they think it's addicting or why they really enjoy it. But for me, as somebody who I know, shocking, I'm a lesbian who played college softball. I was closeted for a really long time, even though the door was closed, or the door was open, I should say. There wasn't really a door; it was glass. Everyone was kind of just waiting. But anyways, I was still closeted, or at least I wasn't very open, and I wasn't out to like my closest family and stuff. And I think that's really why I personally really like it, and especially the show. I think that's why I always say I really like Ilya more on like I relate to him more on like an emotional level. But when it comes to being an athlete, I really resonate with Shane just because how he's always talking about in the back of his mind, everything goes back to hockey. And that's like for the longest time, he's like trying to figure out like that's like part of the reason like he like at the end of the day like he's just thinking about hockey, and then Ilya comes and he's like, what the heck, my like life hasn't meant anything until whatever. And that's something like really, it was really true and honest. That's something that I felt for the longest time. It was the biggest, like, I was so scared, even though, and I would argue, or even though I know, I play a very gay sport. Like, softball is a very gay sport. I just went to, I don't know how, I went to a school where there weren't a lot of gay people on my team. And so it kind of just got me a little nervous. So that's like why I think me personally, why I really like it is it kind of brings in being closeted, but also being a closeted athlete. I just think it's a very unique experience. And I feel that the show specifically and Hudson specifically, I think he just portrayed it so beautifully. And that's like for me personally, why I was so addicted to the show. Because I saw bits of myself in both characters. But at the end of the day, like being a closeted athlete, Shane just like hits home for me. And yeah, if it came down to it, I think I prefer the show. I also think it's just like, again, for someone like how I was just saying, it's a little bit of an easier watch for me because it is graphic, but it's not nearly as graphic as the books. And I think the show, and that's another aspect too, that I think it's like so addicting for even if like somebody isn't gay. It's just like being an athlete is it's like such a, even like the rivalry of it all is like a very like it's a big topic, and it's a kind of a big obstacle sometimes when it comes, because I don't know, that's one stereotype I've never fallen into. I've never dated a teammate. I don't know. Like I've never dated a teammate. I've never done that, but I know a lot of people who have, and it comes with a lot of obstacles. And I think the show and the book just really captures it really well.
For sure.
I love how you are the second lesbian to come into this podcast and say, I was very confused about why people were like trying to convince me to read this book about two gay men.
Yeah, and you know what? Yep.
You know what? Yep.
Yeah, shout out to Mal, who was also like, this is not my thing.
Literally, and I can't even lie. I just read a lesbian soccer book, and one of the things I was texting my friends, and I was like, I feel so like a fake lesbian because I didn't like the lesbian like sapphic soccer book, and the entire time I was just thinking about, I'm like, they aren't Shane or Ilya. I don't like these like I don't like these, like the characters didn't have a lot of depth. Just how it was written was very, I don't even know how to, it was just very poorly written. And I'm really, unfortunately, they're making that book into a show, and I'm just really scared. I hope they very, very, very loosely follow it. Just because I think like Jacob Tierney is like a perfect example. He was somebody who was a fan of the book and the series before, and you can see that in the show. You can see like, and that's even why like his creative direction. And I know I've watched interviews of him talking about, there was somebody in the US production company, and they wanted like Shane and Ilya not to kiss until like episode like it was like 4 or 5 or something. I'm like, hey,
I heard about that.
Literally first page of the book, by the way. Like just so you know,
and we're having sex immediately.
No, literally. So I'm just like, I don't know, but I just think I just love the show. And then obviously, again, just goes back to, I'm very passionate about the things that I like. And then also, I think it also goes back to like being a closeted athlete for majority of my life. I'm kind of just like making up for lost time. Yeah. And it's so crazy that like now I'm like out, I don't play softball anymore, but like it's still a huge part of like who I am. And now gay like athletes and gay sports in general are being so widely accepted. I say that like kind of accepted. I shouldn't say widely accepted, because I've also had some like discussions or debates on the rise of heated rivalry and queerness, but
yeah, no, I
Yeah.
mean, we haven't said anything bad about heated rivalry ever on this podcast.
No, never,
You
never,
know,
never.
we've never critiqued it. Us? Haters? Nah.
Us
Nah.
haters? Never?
Okay, well, thank you for that little introduction, Jordan. We appreciate it so much. So let's talk about the Heated Rivalry rave. So this was, from what I remember, it was announced, because the first one was like the first weekend in February, or no, the first one was like middle of January, and then there was a second one that was like the first weekend in February, which Amanda came to. And so it was announced like I didn't even know about it before it happened, which is crazy because I'm friends with Eden, who is like the person, one of the people who like helped create it, Eden and Seth from Garden of and House Party respectively. And I remember like finding out about it and being like, I will do anything to work this party and get a ticket for it, because it was like sold out within like a week. Like it was like crazy. And so I ended up making like 500 jello shots for the first one. Because we're going to talk with Eden later on in this episode, but to kind of give a brief to our listeners, Eden runs a Sapphic collective in Chicago called Garden of. Garden of has parties very consistently where things are like drag, there's DJs, there's often tattoos, there's, you know, like all kinds of like cool photo ops and things like that. And it's usually, this is like a specific brand of Garden of parties, which are tied in with House Party, which is like another collective that they have. But House Party is like for the wider gay community, whereas Garden of stuff is like often just Sapphic focused. And so we did it through House Party, and House Party is also like open bar, and you have like a higher ticket price because you pay for like bartenders and like an open bar and, you know, like more like cool, like, yeah, like we got like free drinks and like free weed at the second party, like, you know, and those are just like sponsorships that Garden of has. So I remember like finding out about it and being like, I cannot afford a ticket right now, but I will do anything to get there. Like, I don't care. I will do anything. How did you find out about it, Jordan?
I found out about it, I think it was either Instagram or TikTok. I saw it because I had actually followed Eden and like Garden of after I had moved back, because I'm originally from Illinois, but I went to school in Indiana. And when I came back and moved, I was having a hard time kind of finding like queer spaces and where to go. And I remember seeing the ad, or she posted a video, something like that. I saw either on Instagram or TikTok. And then I was literally so excited. I remember I posted a TikTok, and to this day, it's still like one of my most popular and viewed and interacted with TikToks. I literally just posted a picture of me because I was going to a Heated Rivalry like watch party, and I posted a picture, and I made a TikTok just saying like, I think I either said like gay or sapphic, something, Heated Rivalry party in my city, whatever. And it like blew up. Like it did, like I got like a couple thousand likes. And I had people, funny you say about it being sold out. I bought tickets for my friend and I, and then literally I think 2 or 3 days later, my friend was going to buy a ticket and it was already gone. Like it sold out so fast. And then I even remember before and after the event, people were commenting on my TikTok saying like, oh my gosh, it's sold out, or like, oh my gosh, like, why is it this much? And it's like, okay, well, read the description. It tells you why you're paying for all of this. But that's how I found out about it. I had never, and it was funny enough, it was my first like Garden of or House Party event ever. So it was like kind of, I really started out with a bang, and I went to both because I had such a good time the first time. I obviously had a
right, exactly. No. Yeah, I think something that I've been seeing a lot of, and I think like, I don't know, I want to hear about like Lau, if there's any like stuff going on in like Colombia that you've seen. I feel like so much of the Heated Rivalry rave stuff that I've seen in Chicago besides this event have not been like queer focused. Like they've always been like marketed towards like straight white women or like straight women. And so like when Eden and Seth were both like, yeah, we're gonna do this, I was like, no, and it's gonna have queer drag queens and trans drag queens, and it's going to be full of queer people. Like, I know it's gonna be awesome, and it's gonna be like for the queer community. But Lau, has anything, like, because like even still to this day, I still get ads for Heated Rivalry raves in Chicago, which is like kind of crazy because I don't know if like I feel like it's kind of past, but I don't know. Like, Lau, is there anything going on in like Colombia like this, or?
So, as you well know, I'm not the best person to talk about raves and parties and all that because I do not follow. Like we have like a couple of queer clubs. One has been gentrified by the straights.
Of course.
The other one does have like drag shows and all that because I have some friends of friends who do drag and I know about that. But it's not like I follow the social media of most of these clubs. So far, I haven't seen any.
Mm.
I also haven't seen the thing like blow here as much as I saw in the Global North, like the series. I have seen it like a lot of my students are fans of the books and the show, and they watched it on the deep seas before it came to Latin America. So I don't know. I think we will have to wait and see. I will definitely ask my queer friends who do go out and are not like just a stay home queer like me to see if they have seen something in the wild.
Yeah.
But I personally have not heard about anything.
Yeah, Amanda, have you seen anything down by you in like Florida or anywhere?
Where I'm at in Florida, not really. I'm in a very small place where like the queer community is there, but I've said before that it's not very sapphic. There's a lot of men and men presenting people, and it's more, the community here is more like locals. Like if there's going to be like a big community event, it's like a locals thing and not because it's a big tourist spot. I would say when I lived in Orlando, there was likely a lot more stuff there. Nothing came across my feed because I don't keep up with that as much anymore, or I just don't remember because like I don't live there anymore. But I feel like if it was gonna happen in Florida, it would be places like Orlando, Jacksonville, like maybe somewhere on the East Coast, not really, maybe in like a smaller, if there was like a large community in like a small place, maybe. But really, it's like people at work are like, oh my gosh, I love Heated Rivalry, blah, 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 but no one's down here. Like, that is not the vibe. It's gonna, like, I went to a party this weekend that was like tavern, like bard, like whatever, and that was like a special thing where like we just like dressed up like Ren Fair clothes, and that was like a whoa, like that was like a no one really does themed parties, is what I'm saying. They do like bar crawls where they'll do like onesies, they'll dress up in onesies, themed
But that's
onesies.
the extent. Yeah.
But that's five down. So anyway, yeah, so that was why I was really excited. Like I saw Lauren go to the first one and I was like, that seems like a lot of fun. And like this was happening all over the country. Like someone, JM actually from the neurodiversity episode, had been on to a Heated Rivalry rave, and I was like, man, these look like so much fun. I really want to go to one, but like I said, that's not happening here. And Lauren was like, there's another one happening in February, like come through. And I was like, ha 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 ha. And I was like, wait.
I was like, just come out for the weekend. It was gay as hell. Well, okay, but the thing is, I don't think the first one was as gay as the second one. I think the second one was way more gay.
I was so gay.
Oh, I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. I think it was like the first one, I feel like it was just kind of like feeling it out. And then also I feel that at that time it was kind of like everyone was so into Heated Rivalry.
Yes.
And then I think the real like people who either went to the first one and had a really good time or who are like true fans came to the second one. And I think I did enjoy both of them. And I've gone to other not house party Heated Rivalry raves or events, and there's a difference. There's a difference. Yeah. There's like,
yeah, I remember like walking into like the first party. I like helped all the setup and everything, and then like we started seeing people kind of coming into it. And like for reference, there were like 450 people at the first one, and there were probably like 150 to 200 at the second one. And it's in like a giant warehouse in Chicago. And so like I walked, like when we started and like kicked off the thing, I just remember seeing like a shit ton of straight women. And like to the point where like when sexy stuff would happen up on the screens, because they were playing like edits and stuff, when like sex and stuff would happen on the screens, people would be like screaming about it. And I was
Oh
like,
yeah, I got approached about it. Yeah, I had a lady come up to me and I was like, "Girl, I don't know."
no, and like normally, like I said with Eden, I'm normally in like very sapphic parties and stuff, and so I'm flirting with everybody and making my rounds and like trying to find people to kiss and stuff, but that was not the vibe at the first one at all.
I agree.
Yes.
I agree 100%.
Right, and then like I'm sure we'll talk about this with Eden, but like we had like put pictures up on the walls because it's a house party theme, right? And so it's got like couches and like beer pong tables. It's supposed to be like you're in a frat house kind of. And people had ripped the posters off the walls, like, and took them home with them. Like posters Eden spent like a shit ton of money like printing.
Yes. And I remember Eden, I helped like clean up the next day and like organize, like I basically like helped them clean the U-Haul. And one thing that Eden was upset about, or just like anyone, even I was upset about, like someone who was an attendee, even Eden was like, if you wanted a poster so bad, you could have asked. People like destroyed, it was the frames.
Yes.
Yeah.
People destroyed the frames. So like they would take the poster and just leave the frame that is more expensive than the actual poster you just stole. And it's like, you don't know unless you ask, because knowing all the organizers, if you would have just asked nicely, they would
they literally would have said yes.
something.
I had pictures on my wall for a while that were from House Party, like of like Connor and Hudson, because I was just like, hey, can I grab like a couple extra of these, like is that okay? But like, yeah, I felt like the vibe for the first one was like very straight chaos, which like
100%.
I keyed and I definitely had a lot of fun, it was like a very different crowd for the second one, which I think was more, I had a lot more fun because then I also like made all my friends come, because I was like, the first one was fun, but like I think it'll be even better with you all coming.
Yeah, it's because I was there.
Amanda, do you want to tell your story of attending?
Yeah. Oh my god, I have said it when it happened on the pod, but there was the whole story of me getting there. First of all, there was like shit winds out of my coastal town, and so my flight was delayed 20 hours, and then when I did finally get on the plane, there was a girl wearing a hat that said I'm coming to the cottage, and there was a guy at the terminal who was like a 50-year-old man reading Heated Rivalry. So if you don't remember that story, I told it on the pod. I don't remember what episode it was. Whatever, it was one of our episode discussions or book discussions. I think it's episode discussions. So anyway, I ended up getting
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It was a while ago.
It was coming out in June, so hot minute. But it was, so the TLDR on that is that like Heated Rivalry was everywhere for those with eyes to perceive those around them, like. So I did tell that girl, she sat behind me on the plane, and I was like, by the way, I have a podcast, you should totally check it out. And she said she would. I don't know if she did. I never heard from her again. I don't know if she was nervous or whatever. Which, you could still email me if you're that girl. Email me. We could be friends. If you're from the place we took off from, we could be friends. Anyway, which also, she was reading the book I was reading, and so we had a moment about that. It was Atmosphere, which is a sapphic book. We were both reading a sapphic book. Speaking of Pride Month, check out Atmosphere.
However, we are not promoting Atmosphere anymore because we found out that the author is Zionist.
No!
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I literally have it on my want to read list.
Sorry, Jordan.
Yeah,
I was heartbroken as well.
It was still a beautiful book, but unfortunately, don't read books by Zionist people. That blows.
Or you could read books written by Zionist people, but don't give them any money.
Yeah, exactly.
Sail the high seas with us.
That's true.
Yes.
I have links if you need them. Anyway.
We got links.
Yeah. I got to Chicago. Lauren and I had a great time. We hung out. We did a bar crawl. We got dressed. I loved my fit that night so much. I am still thinking about posting those pictures because at the Garden of event, they had like little like hockey nets set up and like some sticks, which like I do play hockey regularly now, or at least like by myself and with a couple friends. So I think it's funny if I were to dress up now in my hockey gear and then post it with like the party pictures and be like the duality of a hockey fan.
Yes, do it.
Me and Iverson
yes.
day. So
Yeah.
I had it was such a blast. Like Lauren and I, as we've said before, we partied together all the time in Florida when we lived in Orlando together, but getting to hang out in Chicago with Lauren's queer friends, it really reminded me how much I love queer community and how important queer community is and how much it's missing in my life, especially now where I'm kind of lacking it. But yeah, like the free weed was awesome. So many free treats. They had themed drinks, which I love a themed drink. I don't care if I don't like it. I will drink it just for the bit. It was so fun. Oh, and then we told this story, but I'll tell it again in case you didn't listen to that episode. Lauren got a weather alert that it started snowing. And we had been there for like a couple hours, so you know we were getting a little toasty. And so Laura was like, "Okay, you're from Florida. We're gonna go see snow." And I was like, "I've seen snow before, but all right, we just want an excuse to go smoke." And so we get our coats, and Lauren's like telling all the securities, like, "We'll be right back. We'll be right back." Like they're from Florida, we need to go see snow. And so we go outside and smoke and like chat up with some other people and like flirt a little bit and like just be in the snow. Lauren took really cute pictures of me, which I would.
Oh my god, they're so cutie. I'll post them probably somewhere on one of our socials.
They might be on the pod socials. But yeah,
I think they are somewhere.
Yeah, but it was really cute, and yeah, I just got to like dance. Oh, they, like Lauren said, they put edits up, like they projected it, and so there was a DJ that was like mixing music to the edits, and so they got to like, I forget, I have a video of it, but it felt like a concert where like they're getting to like the hype song and they're getting to the chorus and everyone's like dancing and the beat's gonna drop, but was it I'm Coming to the Cottage? It might have been the like In Your Eyes, Sunshine, I'll Believe in Anything.
Yes, because they did like a special moment for that to like kick off the drag performances.
Yes.
And they played the show. They played episode 5 where Scott and Kip kiss with the Wolf Parade song in the background. And they had like, when they kissed, they had like fireworks go off and like people screaming.
It was like New Year's Eve. It was insane.
It was so good because then it kicked off the drag performances and the drag dance, like the drag people, like drag people. The drag queens had like Hollander and Rosanov like jerseys that they bedazzled on and like did it to music from the show, which was so good. And so like, yeah, it was so good.
And I really miss that feeling of like being surrounded by people who understand and have the same appreciation for you as other things. It's like when I get to talk to my Percy Jackson friends, or when I'm in the club and like Chapel Roan comes on, and it's like I don't get to experience this level of like freedom or appreciation in my day to day. Like I can scream in my car to a song or whatever, but to be like dancing and jumping and hype to the same people, or to the people who have the same like hype and like excitement for it, is like really exhilarating, and to me that is like so fulfilling. I don't know, maybe that's just me being autistic and like community, but it's
no no, it literally is like clinically proven that dancing is like literally better than any kind of medicine. Like dancing makes you feel better than like antidepressants.
So we're gonna open our Sapphic dancing club in the place that I'm in, right?
We'll talk about it. Okay, Amanda did mention outfits, and Jordan, you had like a themed outfit for the second one, which I need you to talk about.
So the second one, I am an Ilya girl at heart. And my friends and I, we made shirts, and mine said lesbians for Ilya. And then it was so funny because I made it yellow because, you know, for Boston and stuff. And then I was at home, like packing my stuff to go, because this is before I moved to the city. So I was coming from the suburbs, and I was packing my stuff. And then I noticed, I was like, oh my God, wait, I have a pair of Ray-Bans. Oh my God, wait, I have a pair of headphones. Oh my God, wait, I have a hat. And then I was like, guys, I remember I texted my friends who I went to the party with, Ali and Kelly. And I was like, guys, is it crazy if I dress up as Airport Ilya? And I was like, guys, I have everything. And then it ended up just like working. I didn't try it on until I was at their house, like getting ready to go. And it was literally perfect. And then it was funny because it was my best friend's birthday, like a couple days after this. And he was coming in from out of town. And for his birthday, I got him a life-size cutout of Hudson.
What?
So I took pictures with Hudson in like the Lesbians for Ilya shirt. I took pictures of me like dressed up as Ilya. I'll send them to you. They're so funny. But like it actually like because my first outfit was just like a get in, we're going to the cottage or whatever. But then the second one, it was like, okay, I want to like do something themed, and I just thought it just like was perfect. Like I was just going to the Lesbians for Ilya. And then also another thing that while I was packing, I forgot that I had like the glitter freckles. So I was like, okay, well now I got to bring those too. So I was like airport Ilya with like Shane's freckles, I guess.
I love that.
So cute.
I love that. No, and I like a lot of people wore a lot of different things. Like some people wore like actual hockey jersey or hockey sweaters. Like the first one I wore a Blackhawks like jacket and just like jeans and a like sports bra because I was like I'm either gonna be hot or freezing. I don't know which. And then the second one I wore Orlando Solar Bears, like a vintage sweatshirt that I have that I like cropped, which was a lot of fun with like jean shorts. And then like one of my friends that I made because of the party, Kismet, they sewed pants for both times. The first one, they sewed like a pair of sweatpants that were like one side was blue for Shane's jersey and the other side was black for Ilya's jersey. And then put like the numbers on them and like the stripes from the jerseys. And then the second one, they created a pair of like the Canada fleece, but they made it into pants, which was like very cool. And they wrote Canada across their ass. So that was like the best, obviously.
Icon.
No, and I think there is like, yeah, like I said, like the drag queens, they like bedazzled and like sequined the hell out of like, they found, I know they went to the men's room in Chicago to get these jerseys, which is like a fetish shop in Chicago for men. And like, I took Amanda to Beatnik, which is a like fetish shop / dancer shop in Lakeview for their costumes. So,
Which,
you know, the costume planning was really important.
the like fishnet half top that I got, I have worn multiple times and it's actually like really awesome. Like I think I just wore it like out down here and it's really slay. Like I really like it. So I'm really glad. And I was like, oh my god, I got this in Chicago. I actually really love that. So shout out to you for taking me there and us actually finding that.
Yeah, no, of course. Like the next question we have is, did you make friends? And clearly, and I mean, like being a fandom scholar, like when you look at like the history of fandom, like it started from in-person conventions and meetups. You know, like this is how we used to do fandom before we had online spaces. So, and like people would trade stuff when they got there. Like I, you know, was able to access Jordan's TikToks and then tell people about the pod and then like, you know, get listeners and things like that. So it felt really like wholesome and like it was kind of like very home. Like, I don't know. Have y'all ever participated in a fandom before where you've done like an actual like going out like in public thing, like a physical meetup? No?
But I hate public stuff. You know, like
yeah, okay, that's true.
I was gonna say I grew up a One Direction fan, so this is kind of like my I'm not new to this, I'm true to this.
I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. Exactly. No. Yeah.
I know there were like Harry Potter meetups, but my mom never let me attend. So yeah. No.
I've been to a couple of Rick Riordan's book tours. So I've had fandom meetups there where it's like everyone there is like dressed up and is a fan of the books. I feel like I've maybe like when Southern Nights, our gay club in Orlando, when they would do themed events, I feel like that kind of counts because it was like people came out especially. Yeah. Like they had a couple Chapel Roan nights and that felt like it counts. But I don't think I've been to maybe a couple of 21 Pilots things, maybe if I remember correctly, maybe once.
Yeah, I guess like the only times I've really like, I mean, I've gone to like, you know, obviously like themed nights at like dance clubs where they're like, oh, we're paying like emo music, or I've gone to like emo nights or stuff like that before, but I guess I've never really done it for like one particular thing. And so I think it was really great to like meet a lot of people that way too, just because like I have friends now that I met there.
Oh, so wait, really I did go to one Twilight event.
Because, really?
And I wasn't even into Twilight, like to that level. It was just that my mom has a friend who's a writer, and she is a writer with the same publishing house that was bringing Twilight, but also someone who was bringing to Colombia the work of an author from Spain that I kind of like, and they really needed someone to like create a fan club, and I actually liked her books, so I was like, well, I can do it with a friend of mine, and we created a club, and we even had a website. So this publishing house was constantly gifting me stuff from other books, and so we got invited to this Twilight launching party. It was crazy because everyone was like screaming when Jacob or Edward will come into the screen.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, okay, I like vampires. I guess this is fine. And I think that's the only public event I have gone to, a fandom that I was not really a part of to that extent. Like, I did have like the hype for a month or two because everyone around me was reading it. I love to read. I like vampires. But after that, I don't know. To the point that I forgot that I had been invited to that.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, that's so real. I don't know, it was just like really nice to have like community, and like I like Amanda was saying, like there's nothing like just being in a room full of people who like love the same thing that you do, and like even though the fandom is like absolutely fucking garbage, and now I'm like generally very stringent about who I hang out with who is a Heated Rivalry fan.
Hey y'all, editing Amanda popping in to say that during recording, Jordan had put in chat that there was a fire in her area, and so in this moment you hear us sort of break the conversation and start talking about the fire that's going on in her neighborhood. It was an apartment complex near hers, it was not in her building. She is okay, we believe everyone is okay. We haven't really heard many updates, and if there is a GoFundMe, which we are looking around for right now, we will post it in our show notes, but no one was hurt during this. We just saw that there were fire trucks, and there was some smoke in someone's window, and we made a couple of Heated Rivalry jokes about it. So that's what this section is, so don't worry, no one was actually hurt. This is a usual occurrence in Chicago. Thank you.
The building next door is just on fire. Like, you know.
Classic Chicago.
Whatever.
Wow.
Someone's up reheating the rivalry, that's all I know. Someone's reheating the rivalry right now. I'm just closing all my windows.
I cannot get over
Sorry.
someone's reheating their rivalry. That's insane.
No, that's gonna be the social media clip.
Reheat
Someone's
someone's
reheating
rivalry.
the rivalry.
They heard us say heated
Someone's
rivalry.
rivalry overheated.
Yeah, it took us a
Oh,
little
yeah.
seriously.
We do hope that that person is alright, but
Yes.
But also-
I'm just watching a firefighter like go up the ladder right now.
everyone, just
honestly.
remember when you reheat your rivalry, take all the precautions.
No
Use precautions.
flames.
Take your stuff off the charger before using it.
Yeah, exactly.
That is so funny.
Okay, I want to finish my thought, and then I do want to hear like I have a question to ask like everybody.
I don't remember your thoughts, so I hope you do.
Okay, so like I don't know, it was just like Amanda was saying, like it was just really nice to be in a room full of people who like all love the same thing as you. Like it was really good vibes, and even though the like fandom is literally a fucking shit show at all times, and I really curate who I talk to about Heated Rivalry and who I like engage with online, and like have been very, very liberally blocking everyone almost basically at this point on Threads. I think it is, you know, like it's nice to still have those spaces. But I mean, I think something that I still see like happening, which really kind of like bums me the hell out, is like just straights like profiting off of queer media, and like the way that these Heated Rivalry raves keep happening in Chicago. And I know, like, I look at the company and I'm like, this is not queer owned. It's not in like queer spaces. Like in Chicago, they'll happen at like Hubbard Inn, which is like one of the straightest bars in the city that you could ever go to. And I'm like, you're gonna have a gay event there? Like,
Someone's gonna get hate grimed.
literally. And like, but then it like is also like, who is going to those things, you know, like who is like engaging with that, like with hovered in. So I don't know. I guess like if you had a piece of advice to give to somebody who wants to attend a Heated Rivalry rave, or someone who wants to plan something like this, like a meetup, and it could even be something like a watch party or, you know, something like that, what like advice would you give, or like what would you want to see out of that? What would make you want to attend that?
I know for me, I actually went to a couple non like house party events, and I went to one in Michigan specifically. And I know I had a lot of fun because I was with my friends and we had our own section, and it was just literally a group of queer people. So I know we had a lot of fun, and everyone there, we were all kind of there for the same reason.
Mm-hmm.
We all loved the show. We all watched it. We also were there for my best friend's birthday, so we were all there for him. So it was like that atmosphere was good. I will say there were points where I went down to the floor, and it was kind of what Lauren was talking about earlier. It was you literally like the divide of where I was with my friends, then you go on the floor, and it was just like, because I went on stage and I looked into the crowd, and it's just like a ton of straight women specifically kind of just standing there and like looking miserable. You paid to be here. You didn't have to come here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think it's just going in with the mindset of what you're going to only get out of it, like what you put into it. And then I also think that even because I went to the Club 90s, and I believe, someone can correct me if I'm wrong, I believe the founder of Club 90s, or at least the Heated Rivalry raves, he is a queer man or a gay man. But that being said, it wasn't very queer centric, if it makes sense. Like it just felt like, for an example, for like house party, it's such little details. There were actually decorations, and there were themed drinks, and there were different activities and stuff. And then you go to this Heated Rivalry rave at this venue, and it's literally just them slapping that on a billboard, and then they put a DJ on stage with edits playing in the background. So it was like, this is literally like gay guy music video night. Like I could have done this. Like, why am I paying? Like, why am I paying to watch this? Like, why is it giving Justin Bieber at Coachella? Like, what is going on right now? And like, you're just pressing a button and like playing videos, which is like whatever, to each their own. But I think the advice I would give is just, especially if it's Heated Rivalry, at the end of the day, Heated Rivalry, it's based on queerness, so it should really be queer centric, and it should be focused on the queer community. And I know that's like why I haven't personally gone to a lot of local Chicago ones, just because kind of what we've already been saying, it's very heteronormative, straight people are running it, and it kind of defeats the whole purpose of the reason why I like the show and why I like the books. Like, it's so much about queerness. So I think just my advice would be, don't forget like the baseline, and don't forget what the show and like what the book is, because a lot of, again, like I said earlier in the episode, there's different reasons why people like it, and there's different reasons why people enjoy it, but at the end of the day, what really makes the story is the queerness.
Yeah.
And I feel like with the rise of Heated Rivalry, I feel like it's been kind of getting lost, and people have been forgetting that.
For sure. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. I guess I would encourage anyone who wants to organize something to also think of the people like me who are easily overwhelmed by lights and sound, to maybe think of spaces that, like, I mean, it's like, it looks so cool what you guys have attend, and I know you had a great time, but I would also love a screening that is more relaxed and less
like sensory friendly.
Yeah, sensory friendly, and just chill, maybe during the day, stuff like that for us.
Yeah.
That would be great, because also, well, I am Shane. I am the person in the montage where the other person is at the club and I am reading at home, with my glasses. So I would love to have those spaces. I think one of the things that I have discussed with my queer friends here is that I really struggle to find queer spaces that are not centered on partying and alcohol, and that are happening before 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm never gonna meet cute women and cute days at this rate, because I never go out. But I never go out because I really, I know I don't enjoy those spaces. I don't enjoy having to scream over music, and I start like just dissociating. So it would be great to have like a different space for other part of the fandom that is not very into parties. That would be great. I know I probably could organize something like that, but I am a very busy person, so that's not
You're
gonna be.
at capacity.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah.
to remember that Shane is also a part of this relationship, and there are people like
Yes.
Shane in this world. We're not
Yes.
all Ilias.
Yes.
Me.
Yeah, and I think that's some things I've heard through the grapevine, as in on Reddit, about why there's a sapphic community lacking in my area is because a lot of them aren't into drinking and stuff. Like, people are like, why aren't there any sapphic bars down here? And it's like, well, apparently some sapphics, especially because there's a lot of older people down here, aren't into the party scene anymore for a variety of reasons. So that is something to consider. But yeah, I was gonna reiterate a lot of what y'all said about, like, for someone, I kind of in twofold. The first part, as someone who is considering organizing something like this, definitely consider your audience and your reach and like who listens to you, because like I saw a lot of the feedback on social media of people who had gone to those like heated rival raves, and they were, it was like a one large company that was organizing these in different cities, and just like you said, just capitalizing on queer people. They were just slapping shit together. It was like they could like copy and paste different like shows and like go viral off of it and like get a bunch of people just because of the hype around it. But again, that is like not actually part of community. They aren't understanding their audience. They're not understanding like who lives in this area, because like you guys said, it's in a weird part of Chicago. Like, who would go to that bar except straight people? So I think that if someone is organizing this, you need to first of all engage in your queer community, see if there is interest in that, if your community has like if your community is into partying and also a heated rivalry. See if your local bar, if they did showings, maybe see if they would host something, or maybe like start smaller, or maybe like see if your trivia night would host like a heated rivalry trivia night or something. Like, you could
I would be
small.
so down for that one.
Yeah,
Right.
oh my god, imagine we did that in the server.
That would be so fun. That would be so fun.
Okay.
Yeah, and also take into account where, like, the context where you're doing this, because I know a lot of people are gonna see that this is happening in the US, in certain states, are gonna want to maybe replicate it, but also take into account, like, are you hosting this in a very in a safe space of your city for queer
Exactly.
people?
Yeah.
Like, because I do think like some areas are not gonna be like as appealing because of who is attending events on those areas, etc.
Yeah, if you have any
Also,
Scots who like if
exactly.
they were to be seen here, like, would they become a target? Like, would you get like people walking down the street from like a neighboring bar who would be like pride block, you know, like, which I hate to say.
Hate criming. Yeah.
No, but it is a reality, and part of building community and building spaces that are safe for our community is taking into account the horrible reality that we live in, and someone has to do that. So if you are the person organizing that, unfortunately, you're the person thinking about that.
Exactly. Yeah, and I guess like my only note is that like seek out like queer people who are doing these kinds of things, seek out queer organizations that are doing these things, like focus your efforts on giving back to the queer community, because this book centers queer people. And also, when you go to it, tip your performers, tip your bartenders really well. I'm not just talking like give them $1. I'm talking like get a 20 and get 20 singles and spread it out, you know, like tip your dancers, tip everyone as well as you can, because
This
like
is exclusive for the US context. Thank you very much.
Yes. Oh yeah. You, especially if you're not a part of the queer community, like you are there consuming our culture.
Yeah.
And you absolutely 100% should pay us to consume it. Like,
yeah, and I think on top of that, like, especially if you're someone who doesn't go out a lot and you are going to go to something like this, I was going to speak a little bit to that of like, you know, wear something like you're comfortable in, but like don't be afraid to be on theme, like bring friends. Like, I think that if this is something that you're gonna go to, exactly what Lauren said, pay people, because that's important. At least like show up and like be excited about it. But also, like, if you do get overwhelmed or overstimulated, like you can leave. Like, that is totally fine. Like, I got so annoyed with people who would like be on stage at the club and would just be on their phones, or would just not be involved. And like I get that I was
Mhm.
at a party this weekend and I was like kind of on my phone because I didn't really know anyone, but I tried to talk to people or like, you know, made an effort or like whatever. And I think you can meet people because there are other people in the same situation, but it does not hurt to like bring a +1 or like try to find someone that you, if you only know the host, you could say like, oh, like try to hang with them or help them. But I think that if it's something that someone's interested in doing, I think absolutely you should go if you feel safe, if you feel comfortable, if you know the place, or if you know that the event is coming up, go to the venue the week before if it's like a bar or like something else that they do there. Like go another time so you already know the space, you know where the bathrooms are, like that sort of thing. I don't know, but I feel like, or even just go for an hour if you would be like, I'd actually rather be at home, be like, okay, I'm gonna go for an hour and then I'm gonna leave, you know, you never know. So just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's all about like making sure that you feel comfortable with it, but also like when I go to places, like when I go to the Heated Rivalry rave, my loop headphones are in my bag because I will get overstimulated.
Oh, I never go out without my loops.
I am going to take a break outside to either smoke a cigarette or just stand outside for 10 minutes because I need to. One of my favorite memories from the first Heated Rivalry Part 1, while I enjoyed the second one a lot more, the first one I like at one point shared a joint with like 4 drag queens, which was the most beautiful thing that ever happened to me. And I felt so blessed in that moment. But I think that kind of wraps our discussion. Do we have anything else we want to say about the Heated Rivalry rave? Or Jordan, do you have anything you want to plug?
I guess, especially if you're based in Chicago, I'm always looking for more queer people, more queer friends. So my Instagram is literally my name, Jordan, but it has an extra N .Barnes. So if you want to follow me on there, I do have a TikTok, but I won't even lie, I use it like a private story. I just post stupid stuff on there. But again, always looking for queer friends. It's Jordan.4141, you know.
Period.
But yeah, that's all I can really say. And then I was hoping I'd have a chance to kind of thank them in person, but for like Eden and Seth and everyone involved, and even like you were part of the planning and part of the like the execution of it, just like thank you for that. It was still like my friends and I who went, we talk about it all the time. Like it was literally like some of the best parties and best nights out that we've had. And yeah, that's all I really have to say. It was just really awesome.
Wait, are you coming to gay prom this weekend?
Maybe.
Oh. And if you maybe are going, I will maybe see you there.
I may or may not have brought my senior year prom dress out of retirement.
I am requesting for this pod that y'all take a picture together at
Yes.
prom.
Yes. Well, yes.
Please.
Yeah.
And
No,
then
exactly.
we can post it on our socials.
Yes.
Yes, we will, for sure. No, we have to show off our Heated Rivalry friends because they're so
exactly
hard to find.
True, so true.
All right, Jordan. Well, thanks so much for being on the pod, and we will be right back with an interview with Eden.
Yay.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm back with a really close friend of mine, Eden, who is the founder of Garden of, which is a Sapphic collective in Chicago, and also the co-founder of Haus Party, which I'll let her talk about in a few minutes. But we're going to talk about planning the Heated Rivalry rave and getting her kind of side of all of that good stuff. And I'm very excited for this. So thank you for coming on the pod.
Oh my god, thank you for having me. I'm so honored. I haven't been
Of course.
forever. I'm like, whoa.
Whoa. Okay, so go ahead, intro yourself, do your little spiel.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Eden Strader. My pronouns are she, her. And I, like Lauren said, I'm the founder of Garden of, a Sapphic collective, and then the co-founder of Haus Party, which I run with my best friend Seth Sager. And Haus Party is a little bit on the newer end. It's about 6 months old now, but we don't do parties every month. So she's still very, very fresh. And really the entire intention with Haus Party is that it feels like a house party, shocker. So it's super important to us that it's a very like immersive and community driven experience that like truly feels like you can be in someone's home and connect with other humans. So yeah, back in the early, the beginning of the year, I guess. Beginning of the
Yeah.
year when Heated Rivalry was obviously like exploding to the nth degree. We
Mm-hmm.
put together a couple different Heated Rivalry parties and raves, which was truly the best thing ever. I had so much fun.
Yeah. Why Heated Rivalry? Like, what draws you to it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I, like most people, either heard about Heated Rivalry through a friend and or TikTok, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, like any sort of like queer media that's gaining excitement about it, I'm gonna watch it just to even just see if I can get into it, or we don't get much, so I'm always very excited to support and see what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, there's so many layers to why I think Heated Rivalry is the way that it is. But yes, it starts out hot, awesome, grabs people's attention very, very
Mm-hmm.
rapidly. But it's also beautifully filmed, which that's always going to be something that entices me early on. And I always find it very impressive as someone that like started in photography and media
Mm-hmm.
to see a really beautiful film, both from a DP perspective and like storyboarding on a
Mm-hmm.
small budget. So like I already found that really impressive because I know their budget was incredibly small, and it's
Mm-hmm.
really cool to learn about post. And then yeah, and then it turns into this like heartwarming love story that I always describe it as I feel so happy watching Heated Rivalry. It's like a happiness that makes me want to throw up. Like I literally
Mm-hmm.
physical reaction to it. And yeah, I'm like, so when we were kind of planning out our parties, we were like, obviously, obviously,
Obviously.
obviously, we've got to do something surround this.
Yeah. Yeah. And this was the second rendition of House Party because the first one was like Frat House, which was Halloween, right? Was there one
Yes,
in
so
between the
Frat House
two?
was Halloween, and I do think that Hockey House was our first one back. Actually, yeah, I think you're right. It was like our second and third house parties. So that was crazy too because we had really only thrown one, and
Right.
this was a very, very specific vision and execution on making sure that we really like did proud, how much we
Yeah.
love Heated Rivalry and what Heated
Mm-hmm.
Rivalry is.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think like I mean, so many people have come on the pod and talked about like why they think it's addictive, and I think it's like a lot of the things that you were mentioning, like this, like a lot of people see it as like a corrective experience for like
Yes.
queerness, like you're not getting yelled at by your parents for being gay, you're not losing your job for being gay, all of these things, like people support you. A lot of people like it because it's not showing like death of queer people, which is a big one,
Oh,
especially in
I
lesbian media.
Oh, absolutely. I think that really is like it when I meet people now that haven't seen it, I'm like, this is truly the first and only piece of queer media where nothing bad happens. And I think that's
Mm-hmm.
why it's meant so much and means so much and is so rewatchable, is that there's so many layers to the story. It's not like a bunch of stuff doesn't happen. It's just that
Mm-hmm.
none of the things that happen are bad, which is just like
Yeah.
genuinely crazy to see a queer experience where it's just like, oh my god, literally sunshine and butterflies. Like, but it's not like it's also not like super unrealistic. Like it's not like, oh, it's
Mm-hmm.
utopia. Like there's
Yeah.
still making intentional decisions societally around their queerness. But like in terms of everything that does happen, you're like, oh my god, no hate crimes, no one dies, no one's terminally ill. Like it it's crazy. Like you
It's
really have
great.
never there's never been anything like that before.
Yeah, no, exactly. And I mean, like, I know I've definitely talked to like lesbians who have been like, I mean, it's about two men, which is like obviously not what I love, but like, I don't know. I think like being able to project onto that experience is something that I think is like really central. And especially like now when there is like such a like state persecution of queer people and of like queer lifestyles and of trans folks, like I think like having joy in queer stories is super important right now too, so.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And like I can't remember where I read it or saw it, and by read it I mean probably on a TikTok, but it was someone talking about like even as a lesbian, like I don't exist in a world where I don't experience sexism. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm a lesbian, I'm interacting with men on a day-to-day basis, so there's always going to be sexism as part of my life, whereas men are not often really the subject to that. And so
Mm-hmm.
there was like a lot of discourse that I really loved, being like, no, even as a lesbian, like it was really interesting to watch a relationship that involves a man where sexism doesn't play a part. Like that's
Right.
something they're gonna face when they're not out, obviously. Like, obviously there's other things for them to face, but like sexism wasn't one of them. And like
Right.
that was very interesting to kind of watch a queer relationship where, like, think about sexism. It's just
Yeah, no.
not there.
It's just not there. And yeah, I mean, like, there are, like, the women in the story are never, like, shamed or, like, yelled at or, like, people are not mad at them or, like, I mean, Ilya does get mad at Rose, but it's like he's more mad at Shane than he is at
Yeah.
Rose, you know? So, like, it's like women are not the objects of men's anger. And so, like, it's nice to, like, see something where that doesn't happen, you know, because that's how I go through everyday life, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
So.
Yeah. And it's like we got to watch these women be like super badass and also like uplifting their gay boys and their gay boys uplifting them. Like, it was all just like so pure all around.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, we'll switch gears a little bit. Let's chat about like house party, planning the events, kind of like the lead up to it. I am linking like the cute little video that you did on YouTube of like planning everything and stuff in our show notes. But yeah, just take me through it.
Yeah, I think so. When we do house parties, a huge part of them is that they have to be like a multi-immersive experience. Like, there needs to be something for people to immerse themselves in the entire evening outside of just the dance floor and like outside of it just being a dance party, rave, whatever. So that was like our first thing of like, okay, how can we bring people into a heated rivalry world while still being like true to the ethos of house party, true to the ethos of, you know, of heated rivalry. Like, so there was a lot of layers of just like, how can we make this the most like heated rivalry experience ever? And I think, you know, this was obviously around the time too that other collectives were starting to throw heated rivalry raves, which like no tea, no shade to them, but like none of them were queer from what I saw. And so it was like really interesting to like watch this perception of like, it felt like a very capitalistic grab at like a gay topic and like theme and show, which felt like really odd to watch as a third party, like also a producer, also queer. So I think a huge thing for us was like, how can we make sure to do the complete opposite of that? Where like it's not people paying $30 to watch like YouTube edits. Like, and it's just going to a straight couple, like, or like a straight person. So we really wanted to make sure that we also involved a lot of the things that we always do that are like rooted in queerness and queer history and queer staples and foundations. Because I also think like heated rivalry has shined a really amazing and like not frequently seen light on queerness for people who are not queer. Like, for a lot of people, like this was kind of their first move into like queer spaces or queer like media or queer whatever. And so we really wanted to make sure that it was like, okay, while we have people here that maybe aren't queer or aren't immersed in queer culture, they just love heated rivalry and they're like ally down as much as they can be, how can we like expose them to how beautiful and like elaborate queer life is, like,
exactly.
and like, because all of those things obviously in bigger discussion, but it's like even just drag, it's like drag is so foundational to us having rights, period, so that relationships, like their relationship can exist, let alone TV shows like this. So we were really excited about being like, awesome, we throw very queer parties that now people kind of, but like house party isn't a queer party itself, we want it to be open to everyone that's like an ally. And so we were like, this is a really cool opportunity to like expose people to that, because there was a lot of couples there, straight presenting couples, and like there was a lot of like cis het men, and they were just like happy to be there with their partner and like intake this. And so we wanted to make sure that it was like, yes, obviously some hot sexy edits on the walls all night, duh, but we were like, how can we make sure that this also feels like a night that goes beyond heated rivalry and like hopefully intrigues people to learn a little bit more about queerness or keep immersing themselves in things like this?
For sure.
So there was a lot of facets to it. We wanted to make sure, yes, we had the edits. It was really important to us that like Scott and Kip's kiss was a really monumental moment, just because that was such a monumental moment to everyone that watched that show, period, obviously. that was such a like beautiful moment in
I
history.
literally like was standing on top of a cooler when that happened and like filming it, and people were just screaming, and I was like, I think this is like maybe one of the happiest I've ever been in my life.
I literally was talking about it yesterday with a friend. They were like, "What's like one of your favorite memories of the year so far?" And I said, "Great question. It was watching Scott and Kip's kiss, like at the first Heated Rivalry party, because it was like, when are you ever in a room where 400 people are
Yeah.
like screaming, crying, throwing up over a gay kiss on TV? Like
Yeah.
that, like it was the same energy, but like gay version of Game of Thrones. Like it was just like
Yes.
everyone's rallying for this one thing. It was so beautiful. So yeah, we did stuff like that. We always like we joke we like we're making this house a home. So we have our living room setups in our venue.
Mhm.
We printed out a ton of like photos of them, so it felt like we were in their house.
Yeah.
And we really wanted people to have like we wanted people to feel immersed in their world the second they walked in the door. So we also did an entire timeline of their relationship with the matching imagery to those moments, and like made almost like a timeline, like a photo wall timeline in the hallway
Mhm.
that you walk into first thing in the building. So it was like while people were waiting to get their tickets scanned, they got to like look at this entire timeline of their relationship, including like the coordinating photos. So it was really fun. We just were really trying to like make sure that no matter where you were in the building, no matter what time of night you came in, there was something for you to feel really immersed in and like
Yeah.
really excited about outside of just dancing and like being there to party.
Yeah, for sure. And like, I mean, it's house party. So you said there's like a living room set up. There was like a cutie little photo op. You guys made a penalty box and had like
Mhm.
sticks, like hockey sticks and pucks and nets and stuff. The second one had go-go dancers, which was a
Mhm.
lot of fun. Did Starstruck do tattoos at both of them or just the first one?
Just the first one. Starstruck did tattoos at the first one, which that was so fun to have like the sex cells too, like that,
Yeah.
the actors have in real life. So yeah, I'm like, there was always something to turn to and do. Like
Yes.
always something to turn to and do. And I'm obsessed with the penalty box. We had so much fun making it. And just like getting to watch people feel like they got to play hockey with the boys for a minute was just like everything we wanted from that experience.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, I mean, I literally like left the first one and I was like, so when's the next one? Like,
No,
when
100%.
is the next one?
Mhm. No, and that's like kind of how it went. And it was really fun the second one. Like so many people that came to the first one came to the second one, which was like so fun because it really was like borderline the same party. Like, yes, there was different elements. Like, we had a different tattoo artist, we had go-go's at the second one, but like overall, basically the same party and concept. So it was really, really cool to just be like seeing that people loved the concept and like loved the show enough to be like, no, let's run it back. Like, let's
Yeah.
absolutely run it back and do it all again from the top, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I felt like the second one was gayer than the first one. I mean, I also brought all of
Mhm.
my gay friends to the second one.
Mhm.
And so I was like gayer maybe for the second one. I was like, everybody needs to get more gay now. So,
Absolutely. No, I think it did feel a lot gayer because it also was like our second one, I feel like it wasn't like at the end of like the really crazy Heated Rivalry hype, but it was definitely like as we were starting to plateau, like
mhm.
really talking about it. And so I feel like everyone that came was like, no, I love being gay and I love Heated Rivalry and I love a rave, and then it's like, yeah, we had all these like go-go dancers in hockey wear. Like,
Yeah.
it was just like it was really good.
Yeah, no, it was so great. Like when you do these like parties and stuff, because you do them like beyond house party and stuff, like what is your like driving force behind like a lot of them, if it's like a couple of things, or like what are the
Yeah.
reason you like throw these parties,
Yeah,
things
I
like
mean, I
that.
think number one is just like, and I know it's a buzzword right now for sure, but just like the sake of community. And
Mhm.
the reason why we like having such an immersive experience is I also think it's such an amazing way to break the ice with other people. We have
Mhm.
so many people, like hundreds of people that come to each of our parties that come alone, and we really try to like foster an environment where like that's fun and exciting to do, because like there's going to be ways to start up conversation with people, connect with one another, whatever. And I'm like, if I ever have to like pinpoint something that like really encapsulates why I throw any of my parties, it's that, and I'm probably going to butcher it, but like that quote from the AIDS epidemic that's just like, we buried our friends in the morning and we fought all day and we danced all night.
Yes.
And our parties truly are, and again, I was talking about this with a friend last night. I was like, the parties, both in setup, actual party, takedown, like they are the only time in my life where like the horrors do not exist. Like I live and breathe in a little utopia moment for like several hours, and that is always how I want it to feel for everyone. Like
Mhm.
that is my goal with every single detail that goes into it. That's the goal with the parties in general, is that I'm like, how can I provide people this experience where they get to experience literally nothing but joy? Like that's it.
Mhm.
They get to experience joy and calmness. Well, calmness is loose, but like, do you know what I mean?
Loose.
You're not scared, you're not worried, you're not anything. You're just having fun. And there's so many different ways that you can have fun in that environment. We try to, have things that you can do if you don't feel like you're in the mood to talk to a million people too. Let's say you are more introverted. So I would say that really is like the foundational red thread that kind of goes through everything, is just like, how can we give people an escape in a really
Mhm.
like, healthy, beautiful way for a few
Exactly.
hours, and like have them have this night that really like fuels them for the next day, week, month, whatever. And so yeah, that's always like top of our mind when we're planning anything, is like, how can we make this just so enjoyable and like so joy filled for the people attending.
Yeah, for sure. I know that like house party always gets a little pushback every time we throw or you throw one about the like pricing and stuff, but
Mhm.
like do you want to talk about like going into that like what goes into that mindset of like planning the price for the
Oh
tickets and
my
things
God,
like that?
yeah. I think, and we always like try to talk about this, but I think it's really hard for people to conceptualize. Any house party we throw specifically is an open bar. So what you're paying for is not the cover to like walk into a party. What you're paying for is unlimited amount of drinks, both alcoholic and THC and coffee and sodas. Like we also make sure that like, we have a ton of sober friends and we have a ton
Mhm.
of sober people that attend our parties. So we want to make sure that they're having just as enjoyable of a night. We order pizza for everyone because again, it's a house party.
Yeah.
We have the drag. We also like, one thing that's always been really important to Seth and I is that our staff and our performers get compensated very well, like
Mhm.
very competitively. We are not comfortable asking people to come work for $15 an hour. Like that's not a livable wage.
Yeah.
And obviously we don't employ anyone full time, but like it's very important to us that if people are going to be working for us, they're going to be paid very, very well and in a way that
Yeah.
like genuinely can sustain them. And it's I'm like, we've made money off house party once. Like
Yeah.
we made money off house party like once. And I think whether it's house party or garden of or any like events that anyone goes to literally ever, the people that make money in nightlife are often the bars themselves. It's not
Yeah.
in the people producing. Not to say money cannot be made. Obviously, there's going to be occasional parties that you do make money.
Right.
But Seth and I's goal is always at house party that our talent and our performers get paid their full rate, point blank, period, if not more. We refuse to pay performers less than like $200, which is often a lot more than like the industry standard. And that's because like they deserve that. They should
Yeah.
earn that. They're putting on, so many elements of the party. And so I think it's really hard for people to conceptualize like, where's this money going to?
Mhm.
Because I've definitely had conversations with people where they're like, well, I saw it's $50 times, 300. So like what, you just took home $15,000? And it's like,
Right.
oh girl, what? Like
Girl.
this took me 100 hours and I maybe took home $100. Like not this is not to pay rent, I fear. And obviously, if we sell out a party, there is a little bit more budget to work with and pay ourselves. But even then it's not much. Like it's not
Yeah.
much. And I think that's like very important to people to conceptualize, like as a moral cultural production standpoint, but also like
Mhm.
I have had conversations with people where I'm like, how much do you usually pay at the door? And they're like, oh, I'll pay like $20 to $25. Perfect. Okay. After that, how much are you spending on drinks, right? I went to Bump a couple weeks ago and I got shots for my friend group. That was $100.
Yeah.
$100. And I said, I paid $30 to get in this party. I'm done for the night. Like, this
Yeah,
was
that's
already
it.
$130 an evening for one shot each for my friends and for us to like get in the door. And so it's like really doing the numbers, and like it is a jump scare to click into a ticket price and see $60. But when
Yeah.
you think about the fact that that's unlimited alcohol, performances, ticket at the door, pizza, snacks, photo ops, like there's so much that you're paying
Goes
for.
into it. Yeah.
And I've often had people like our regulars at house party are like, no, I save money on my house party nights. Like
Yeah.
I'm saving money by going to house party, then going to another party where I'm going to pay $25 and then at least $100 throughout the night for my drinks, and then have to
Right.
go out for pizza after because I don't get drunk. Like,
No, and the pizza is like one of the best parts of the night. I love just standing there with like a giant box of open pizza and people just ripping into it. It's the
it's
best.
also like so communal, which I love.
Yeah.
Like we always like hand people whole pizzas, obviously, to be like, pass them around, share it with your friend group. And it's really cute to see people like be handing out pizza to people they don't know. Like it's really sweet, and everyone kind of just like takes a breather and shoves their face with pizza at midnight. And like it's so much fun. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's such a good time. What was your favorite moment from either of the hockey houses, other than the skip kiss?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was like, that's definitely my favorite part is like that moment. I think runner up is absolutely the drag, which that's gonna be my favorite part of any party. But for house party or for hockey house specifically, all the girls did heated rivalry themed drag. It was the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. We had sangria wine at each party, and she is a massive heated rivalry fan. So she went all out. Like
Yeah.
I remember the first time she like sent me her track and it like has audio from Ilya and Shane like in the track. Like, oh my God. She brought out ginger ale like during her performance. Like it was so campy and so fun, and just also like so many of my favorite parts of just like being queer and like being in queer nightlife, but then like meshed with heated rivalry. Like it was just so much fun. And again, like I think it was also, as I said in the beginning, like very beautiful for me to be like, oh my God, like some girls brought their boyfriends here and they're watching this and they're happy to be here. Like,
yeah,
this is probably their first time seeing quite literally anything like that. And that's beautiful as well. Like love that. Like I love an ally. Obviously I don't want straight people in my spaces at queer parties, but like if it's not a queer specific party, it's like, hey guys, we're people just like you. Aren't you having fun? In fact, more fun than you probably have at these straight bars.
More fun? I mean, Eden and I have been to a straight DJ before. It's
the horrors.
The horrors. And then you have like, I mean, the ultimate drag performers, Winter and Fantasy, who are just amazing doing the shows. And Winter Dior does so many Garden of events. Like she's amazing.
That's my girl. That's my girl down. I'm like, they're never not gonna tear it. Working with them is like such a privilege and honor. Like they're both incredibly hardworking and just like the most talented girls you've ever seen in your entire life. So I always like love seeing what they come up with, and just like they're never not gonna tear it. Like they're never not gonna give you the show of your life.
No, and then like at the first one, like Sangria and Winter and I went outside and like passed around a joint, which was amazing. And I was like, I don't think I've ever had this experience before in my life, and it's perfect. Like it's everything to me.
It like that's heaven. Like that's
dream blunt rotation.
Like literally.
Okay, before I let you go, any like advice that you could give to folks who want to plan queer parties like this, who want to do stuff like this, who want to find them in their towns, who want to attend Heated Rivalry raves, any advice you can give?
Oh my gosh, I think like number one for anyone that ever wants to produce anything, like finding a very, very clear ethos of why you want to do what you do. And it can't just be partying, and it can't just be community as like a general concept, but like it needs to be somewhat specific. Like Garden of is like friendship forward community. Like that's always what it is, and I think that's why people are so drawn to it. And like House Party, like I said, is like a house party if Andy Warhol was throwing it. Like we just wanted to feel like you're in a crazy fun artistic house and connecting with people who genuinely want to connect in that way. And that's always our mission. It should never be just because you want to party. It should definitely never be that you want to earn money, because I promise that day is not coming anytime soon. Horrible news. There's not a lot of money in queer nightlife in that way.
Crazy.
Who would have thought? Yeah, like you really, it's a job that like if you love it, best job in the world, like best job in the absolute world. So like really think about like how you can have multiple layers of the experience to promote the ethos of like what you want it to all be about. And for people that want to attend them, I think like really one of the biggest things that people who attend parties or want to attend parties can do is just like support the parties and help them get the word out. There's so much that you can do to support a collective or producers that isn't giving them money. Yes, money is awesome. Buying tickets is awesome. Donating to our fundraisers is awesome. And if you have the means for that, great. But like sharing their graphics, telling your friends' friends, resharing things, commenting on things, really making sure that like you're doing your part to get the word out. Because I think, you know, I've been watching a lot of discussions happening about this lately as Pride is coming up of like, hey, like lesbian and sapphic spaces don't necessarily get a lot of funding because statistically sapphics don't drink as much as, you know, like men do who are on the rooftop for 12 hours. And so it's a lot harder to get funding. It's a lot harder to get kickbacks. And so it's really important that like, you know, let's say you're sapphic and you're wanting to go out for Pride this year, go to a sapphic party. It sounds obvious, but if it's like, oh no, like I'll just go to Boys Town because Sidewalk has no cover. If you can afford a cover, go to a sapphic party. Like
go to Scarlet, go to
like,
Nobody's Darling.
Exactly. Go to Nobody's Darling. Like go to sapphic collectives, like support them, help them get the word out, because they're battling queer people are battling. We're swimming upstream regardless. But like when it comes to funding in nightlife and like performance in nightlife, sapphics are also swimming upstream yet again. Because we don't get the funding and the kickbacks in the way, you know, because gay men do, they party stereotypically all day, every day, always. So like it's support the things that you want to see more of. I know it sounds obvious, but like it's so easy to scroll past an Instagram post and be like, oh, it's fine. Like I'm not going to that one, so I don't need to reshare it. Reshare it anyway. Like reshare it anyway, because it really does nothing but support the causes and the parties that you want to see more of. And same with House Party. I'm like, if you want to see something, and if you want to see something and you don't see it anywhere, make it. Produce it, right? Like we didn't see a queer Heated Rivalry party anywhere. We just saw like a very commercialized version of it, and so we decided to do it ourselves. And it's the same thing with like I'm doing like that No Boys Allowed party. I'm like, I want to go out and not see any men. Like I want to go out and not cover my drink. Like I want to go out and key with the girls all night, and that's the whole demographic. And I haven't seen that party, so I'm gonna do it myself. So yeah, I'm like that would be my advice. That was a lot, but that would
I love all those pieces of advice. What do you have to plug? Because this episode, to let you know, it comes out in the beginning of June, which is I don't know, maybe Pride Month. What have you got going on for Pride Month?
I've heard there's a few things going on in June.
I think this episode comes out June 5th specifically. So
yeah, June 6th, we have No Boys Allowed, which is a party where no men are allowed. It's Girls World, and I'm so excited for that one. We have Platform Angel and Starstruck on the decks, and we're just playing like Queens of Pop too all night. Like we want like a very, very like no male artist type beat, and we're doing pop-up vendors. It's BYOB, so it can just be like so chill. We're gonna have like coffee vendors, tarot, tattoos. Like it's me. I'm like, I wanted to feel like I'm going to like a closed down mall in junior high and raving with my friends.
Yes, but I'm perfect. Actually,
at the closed down mall. Like, I'm thrilled about that. And then June 13th, we have Dyke Summer. It's our second annual Dyke Summer, which is our kickoff for Pride. It's a crazy fucking party. This one's gonna be nasty in the best way. Like it's gonna be so crazy. We have a $250 cash prize for the wet t-shirt contest. Like it's gonna be.
I will be winning. I mean, I wasn't there for the spring break one, but I'll be winning Dyke Summers.
No way. We've had people commenting and they're like, well, I need that money. So like I am going to be training for this. And I'm like, no, and that was the point.
Exactly.
Oh no, a bunch of girls doing a wet t-shirt contest at the Sapphic party. Horrible news.
Oh, so
Um,
bad for us.
we hate it. So, and then we're closing out Pride, obviously Pride weekend, June 27th. We have the Sapphic Saloon, which is going to be insane. It's a full 3-story building takeover. There's going to be line dancing, mechanical bull competition, DJs, there's a pool, there's a waiting pool that will be open,
Ugh,
which is crazy. So
I've
that's going to
already
be,
planned my outfit, by the way.
I got to lock into that. I haven't planned, I don't even have my outfit for this week. So I need to lock in.
No, I have the prom outfit, but
Yeah,
not.
I still don't know what I'm wearing to prom, but yeah. And then the next day we are actually producing a set at Backlot Bash, which is a 2-day festival over Pride weekend, and we are incredibly excited about that. We have the amazing Lana Sheree coming in from New York City to perform
Ugh.
and host, and then we basically we had like a ton of budget free up because of something, and I was looking at it and I was like, what if I just hired every hot performer in Chicago to go during this? And that's what I did. And I fierced it. Like, it's gonna be the lineup when I show it to people. I'm like, no, you see all of that text? Those are
Yeah.
just go-go's. Like,
Yeah,
those are just people in bikinis shaking ass. So something to think about for sure.
perfect.
Oh, and Cashier
No,
is doing our set. So it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
literally no notes. If you're in
Mhm.
Chicago and you're gay or you're an ally,
Or you're in
come
the
to this.
Midwest in general, I would come out for this.
I would come out for all of this. It's
Mhm.
going to be awesome. I'm so excited for all of it. I know I've told you before, but I love Garden of. I love that it's made me closer to like a lot of lesbian friends. I've reconnected with a lot of people. I've met so many new people. You and I are friends. So like, thank you for all of the hard work and effort that you put into Garden
Oh, thank
of. You are the
you.
best.
Thank
I
you.
love you so much.
It's definitely about you guys. So I'm always so grateful. Thanks for making it what it is.
Yeah, for sure. And thank you so much for coming on the pod today. I really
Thank you for
appreciate you.
having me.
So, yeah, thank you again to Eden and thank you to Jordan from earlier. You can catch up with Since Rookie Season on social media. We're on X, we're on Threads, we're on Instagram. You also can follow Eden on social media. What's the handle?
Yes, I am not Eden Strader is my personal handle. And then gardenov.collective or X House Party X. And the house is HUAS, obviously.
Yes. Obviously. So yeah, make sure to either follow us on all of those. If you want to leave a voice memo for the pod, you can send it to srspod@protonmail.com and we'll respond to you as soon as we can. And next week, we are going to be doing our final episode of the season, which is the Since Rookie Season Edit Awards. So we will catch you all next week. All right, bye!
Since Rookie Season is created by Lauren, Lau, and Amanda. The cover art is created by Lauren and Lau, and Amanda is our editor. Thanks for listening!